Hello everyone, tonight on our program, Telecoms Chamber announces it is instituting warning systems to identify and curb mobile money fraud. Also coming up, a major progress in enforcing and to fill us in. Plus, toll workers expressing frustration about reassignment delays months after the operations were suspended.
Minister told Ghanaians that the toll workers will be reassigned. So we keep following. So as I'm talking to you right now, we've been to the ministry for more than 4 times.
My name is Daryl Kwawu. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Details in a moment. Well, first up tonight, as mobile money services continue to evolve, new types of fraud are emerging in the sector. Identity theft through SIM swapping, promotional and social engineering scams are the highly reported incidents of fraud. This has brought about a significant economic loss for users. The Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications is instituting warning systems to identify and curb such illegalities. There is more in this report.
So far, 35,000 incidents of fraud have 17,000 IDs have been blacklisted. Though some elites have been victims of these scams, players in the informal sector are mostly found to be easy prey. As part of the World Consumer Rights Day, the Chamber of Telecommunications is raising awareness on agent and consumer fraud. It is under the theme Fair Digital Finance. Ken Ashigbe is CEO.
A lot of our people are not aware, and it's not about even literacy. You find some of these schemes and some of these scams come up, and then people who are supposed to be very lettered, that you do not have to give your PIN to anybody. You do not have to disclose your financial service to people that you don't know who call you and say they are from other places. We all know the numbers that our networks will call us with. If you get a call from another net pretending to discuss anything with you, don't. And sometimes you see the text messages they send you. There will be errors in them. It is not as if they cannot spell. They know how to spell. The only thing is that there are bots that crawl the messages that are sent. So there are some words that once the systems find them and they find them that they are fictitious, those messages will be blocked. So
a fraud control dashboard has been introduced to,
and you are reported. You see sometimes on Facebook, you see somebody wanting to create an employment scam. You know that the security forces will not recruit with that. So what then you do is that once you see it, you report. You call 419 on your network and report it. They would investigate it. When they find out that it's correct, what they then do is that they will block that SIM. When they block the SIM, they will go and look at the ID that was used. If that ID has been used severally to commit fraud that has been reported, that ID will be blacklisted.
The safety of electronic pins and passcodes, however, Afrakuma Ba Obin asked subscribers to be extra careful during transactions.
Nobody will call you from MTN telling you that give out your mobile money pin because you've won a competition or we have a reward for you.
Now, the Smart Africa Alliance has signed an MOU with the network of African data protection authorities to provide institutional support and enhance the enforcement capacities in Africa. Initial discussions between Smart Africa and the network began in November last year in Morocco on the need to end at Dakar in Senegal to append their signatures to an MOU after successful deliberations. Executive Director of Ghana's Data Protection Commission, Patricia Eduse-Poku, joins us to tell us more about this. Great to have you on Business Live tonight, ma'am. How important is this partnership by Smart Africa and NADPA in enforcing and harmonizing data protection laws across the continent?
This is thank you for inviting me, and hello to all your customers. This MOU is a very significant progress in the continental effort towards the single market of Africa, and also for the digitization of the continent in general. We are aligning the protection of personal data that is generated in the digitization effort to the human rights. So that is a very big improvement, because the MOU is enabling the harmonized protection laws in Africa into one, to protection of data beyond the borders of any one African state. We have a consistent approach. We have a standardized way of doing data protection across the region, so that everyone in the African region has the same rights and is responsible to the people in Africa based on the same principles and legal requirements.
And so what work needs to be done now towards attainment of the goal?
So now the Data Protection Commission and Smart Africa is combining our efforts to build stronger capacity for data protection ecosystem, such as what they have in Europe, so that in Africa we have our own skilled professionals certified and qualified in Africa for Africa, people who understand the African culture, doing the protection of privacy and data protection for the continent. If you are qualified as a professional in Ghana now, you are marketable across the region. So now we, technical experts, are becoming part of the single market of Africa in the way we offer services of our knowledge and expertise to the whole continent, because we are all doing it the same way.
And that
is quite significant.
Yeah, and that's quite significant, as you point out, that Smart Africa has chosen Ghana as one of academy. And like you're saying, there's a boost for data protection professionals currently practicing in the country. Let's talk about Ghana and the progress we have made so far in enforcing our data protection laws and sensitizing the public as we pursue a digital economy. How far have we come?
So we in Ghana, on our own efforts, have been doing as much as we can. And we are yet to see the exponential growth that this MOU with Smart Africa is going to offer data protection. It's going to crack open and capacity building at the state levels, not just in Ghana, but in other different states in Africa, help us to build the expertise that we need to sensitize the people of Ghana and beyond, and also hold institutions accountable in a way that they will not be able to participate in the single African market unless they are data protection compliant.
All right, and I want to ask the focus of the Data Commission this year. As I also pointed out earlier, the government is pursuing a digital economy. We are seeing a lot of digitalization going on. So tell me how...
In sync with our mother ministry, the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization, we're lucky to have a minister who is very passionate about the subject area and working closely with the Commission, empowering the Commission to lead in key project area that is aligned with digitization. Currently this year, we are still sustaining that our original theme from 2019 of building trust, transparency, and contributing to transformation using our 3 T's. But in that effort, we are working closely with the Ministry of Communication, leading in the development of the national AI strategy. We are also building and developing the ethics of AI use for the nation. We are just qualifying as a country as the flagship nation for Africa for data governance, which is also being led by the Data Protection Commission, use of data and its governance in the country, which is really going to unlock the potential of digitized information, because we are going to maximize the potential of the data that is generated, the electronic data, and how to use it to help the general good, for the general well-being of the people of Ghana, but in an appropriate and legitimate fashion. So the data protection is becoming very instrumental in the digitization effort.
Yeah, and any challenges you have had to grapple with so far?
Challenges? Oh, we still have many. because as you know, data protection is a large government institutions. We are growing. We are looking for skilled personnel. Our resources continue to be limited, and we continue to look for sponsorships and capital injection from government and support to train our people and to expose them to what the global demand for data protection is. We are learning as we grow, and that obviously comes with a lot of challenges in the everyday business as usual.
All
but
right.
we are growing steadily and overcoming a lot of these challenges.
By Smart Africa for the establishment of a digital academy. Let's see how that works out. I bet it's going to further boost your work.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much, Patricia Eduse-Poku. She is Executive Director of the Data Protection Commission. You're watching Business Live. Toll workers are expressing frustration about reassignment delays months after the operations were suspended.
The minister told Ghanaians that the toll workers will be reassigned. So we keep following. So as I'm talking to you right now, we've been to the ministry for more than 4.
We'll have a report coming up. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Business Live. Now, toll booth workers are frustrated about delays in reassignment months after closure of toll booths across the country. My colleague James Ishan has been looking into their concerns in this report.
After the closure of various toll booths across the country, the workers were given assurances of a reassignment. Ella Meto is one of such workers who were to be monitored to ensure the journey has been for him and his colleagues.
Well, since the closure of the toll booths, PWDs especially have been fighting to get a new job, because we were all aware when the budget was being read at the parliament in November, the minister told Ghanaians that the toll workers will be reassigned. So we keep following. So as I'm talking to you right now, we've been to the ministry for more than 4 times. 30th or something like that. On the 30th of January this year, the minister met them and promised them that they are still working on the reassignment for persons living with disability.
He wants the government to regulate the activities of the toll booth workers.
So we are still praying that reassignment is going to come, because when you check our constitution, the government is supposed to train PWDs and improve disability in any institution larger than this initiative. So we were extremely happy because it's going to alleviate a bit of poverty from some of our people, and it indeed happened. It was actually happened. So we are still praying that the government will still testify to the fact that it's not every institution that is willing to employ PWD because of the cost involved.
It has been days, weeks and months, but no concrete feedback has been given to these former workers. After several meetings with the finance ministry, the toll booth workers are still hoping to get back to work regardless of the challenges.
Well, in the beginning, it wasn't encouraging. The feedback was not encouraging. As I've just said, on the 30th, my colleagues went there. I wasn't able to be part of them. The minister himself met them and promised them that within the week, the coming weeks. So we are praying that that promise that they made in the past and what the minister, Honorable Amakwata, also said on the 30th is going to yield the result that may bring some kind of relief to especially the PWDs.
Ella Meto has been unemployed for the past 1 year and over, right from when he was sacked to the closure of the toll booth across the country. But there is some positive news here. His group and himself are engaging the Ministry of Finance for a reassignment. For Joy Business, James Ishen.
Within the governing board of the Tree Crops Development Authority, the Agric Minister Dr. Usefri Akuto charged the board to take advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area to move Ghana from an exporter of raw materials to exporter of processed food. The Tree Crops Development Authority is mandated to regulate and develop in a sustainable environment production, processing, and trading of 6 tree crops: cashew, shea, mango, coconut, rubber, and oil palm in Ghana. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture is anticipating to rake in about $15 billion from the authority in 8 years.
Take 6 selected crops to the level where we'll be earning as much foreign exchange as we do cocoa today. And that is a figure of $2.5 billion US, which in total, we're talking about something like $15 billion. If you bring in the president's vision of Ghana Beyond Aid, which will mean that at least a significant proportion of the raw material from your authority will be processed locally and exported into the rest of Africa.
Chairman of the governing board of the Tree Crops Development Authority, Stephen Setre Abankwa, pledged to continue collaborating with the private sector to grow the authority.
We are going to work hard, pursue sustainable policies that will attract huge investments into the sector. And looking at the composition of the board, even though it's government initiative, the board which is going to drive the authority towards the implementation of its objects is controlled by the private sector. And not anybody at all, but people with interest in the 6 tree crops.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive of the authority, William Kweto, says his outfit will require about 50 million cedis from government to distribute about 5 million elite seedlings this year.
I would say we will need about 50 million cedis. Yes, roughly we need about 50 million cedis. Government cannot provide all, but sometimes we apply to development partners. They support us in some way, and we have to match their support with government funds. This year, our target is to distribute elite planting materials of about 5 million seedlings of all the 6 crops. You see, most of the farm that they have there, they just pick the seedlings from somebody's farm and plant it. They are not hybrid types. They are not elite. They can't give you any meaningful yield.
The 29-member board has a Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Michael Ochibefi, and a representative from the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Yao Eduampoma, as well as 4 representatives for each crop. All right, we just want to show you what is coming up on Joy Business Social in about 30 minutes across our social media platforms. It's going to be a conversation. Oops, I think we've got the wrong one there being projected for you, but it's going to be a discussion. Sharif Gali, who is with the Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs. There you go, we got the right one for you. And Chonam Clarence Akpelo, who is Greater Accra Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries. That's at 6 p.m. across our social media platforms, Joy Business Social. Difficult times, how our business is coping. That's the topic for discussion. Up next, your money tip on Money Lab.
Hi there, welcome to the Money Lab. Thanks for joining. What are trading rules? Now, the purpose of stock exchange trading is the determination of the price of securities in a functional and efficient market, where all parties to the market have simultaneously in their disposal sufficient information as the basis for the price formation. Transactions on the stock exchange are carried on by licensed dealing members such as Republic Securities, and that is a member of the stock exchange. The dealing member, through its employee, a registered securities dealer, executes buy and sell instructions for investors. Now, the rules guiding the execution of these transactions are the trading rules.
And there is more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Yes, you can get the day's latest from there, myjoyonline.com/business. All right, we are leaving tonight. We'll be back same time tomorrow.